All right, everyone. So, some of the things I'm going to be talking about are going to be shocking to some of the people that I know. But we'll move forward with the whole idea and the whole conception of what I'm talking about from what I'm about to say. So, moving forward, it's very important that you keep on moving forward with what I'm talking about and listening before getting too crazy typing, leaving comments. So, about 3 weeks ago, for a week, I was thinking about suicide. Now, think about committing suicide. So, before you think that it's the usual instance, let me tell you that it was purely philosophical. I I was playing with the idea that since I haven't gone as far as I have in my life as I thought I would be, or as far as much as I thought I needed to go on my mission by now, that perhaps it would be more honorable to stop incurring bad honor and just end it, just in my life, so that not only would I incur more, stop incurring bad honor, but also just make a statement that my life ends right now. I gave myself about a week to think about it. This idea of honor, it's very philosophical. Um, a lot of military tacticians, soldiers, warriors, a lot of philosophers have thought about this as well, as far as honor and suicide. When is it honorable to actually commit suicide? What purpose does it serve once you commit it? And are the ramifications worth the statement you're making with your suicide, or the decision to end your life at that time so that it is a proper ending to your life? So, all these ideas are very alien to most people. Slightly alien to me, but I've studied history and philosophy and I've thought quite a bit. It might not seem like something to think, but I've been engaging with ideas for a long time and I've been experiencing a number of, well, experiences. So I was listening to a course on the Great Courses Plus, which is an app, but also it's a website, the Great Courses Plus, and now it's called Wonderium. I think Wonderium is what they're calling it now, but just a little while ago it was called the Great Courses Plus, and what I was listening to is the Great Books. So there's this lecturer talking about the great books and the great books throughout history that he considers the great books and the lessons from them. And he came upon, well, he lectured upon um, the Iliad. And ironically, just after a couple days, 1 or 2 days, because I was really close there, I was just like, is this the right thing to do? And, I wasn't, crying while thinking about this. I wasn't like super emotional. Um, for me, happiness and sadness are irrelevant to both my mission and my purpose in this world. So I can be sad for the rest of my life, and I wouldn't kill myself because of sadness. So this is a different form of suicide conception than most people would be inclined to either deal with or experience or contemplate. But, you know, I'm always going through that particular pain of the kind of loneliness that I feel. I have friends, family, but there's always that particular special kind of loneliness that I feel where I feel like I'm the only one of my kind. But regardless, that's not the main focus of what I'm trying to say. What I came upon in this lecture was, and this is listening to the lecture, you can also watch it. You can also watch the Great Courses Plus. I came upon the idea of Ajax, the Achaean army that were fighting the Trojans. This was near the Achaean ships. We understand them as Greeks. The Trojans were more like Turks, but it was very much mixed up at that time. There's no like genetic difference really at that time. So Ajax I don't really need to give you a whole lot of details, but he wanted the honor of gaining Achilles' armor back from the person that had it, and he didn't do that. In fact, what he did by accident was he was so drunk that he thought he was killing a bunch of Trojans, and he was actually killing a bunch of pigs that were owned by the Achaeans. And, he woke, well, he was already awake, but he was, afterward, when he realized what he did, when he was trying to do the original thing of gaining the army of Achilles back, he felt so ashamed. And everyone that he knew, all the other warriors, not all, but many, were laughing at him, saying, "Oh, you thought they were the Trojan, those pigs were the Trojans. How much of a fool you are, this and that." And Ajax, he felt that the only way that he could regain his honor was to commit suicide. Now, the reasons for this are not entirely clear, but I think that the implication was that if he failed to be a warrior, he could at least die a warrior. Or perhaps he could show that he was brave enough to die, because he did not prove that he's brave enough to do the feat that he was trying to achieve, trying to do, gaining Achilles' armor back. He could at least prove that he's brave enough to die. I think that's what's going through his head. I think that's what the Iliad refers to, and is I think that's in there. So when he was about to kill himself, his wife and children pleaded with him, saying, "We'll just be slaves. We'll just, his wife's saying, I might just be a concubine to some other warrior. We'll be slaves. You'll just leave us with destitute." And basically, if, his wife did end up becoming a concubine, because that was something that was practiced at the time, when there's no when there's no man to watch over you, then stuff like that happened. But Ajax was like, "No, I have to prove that I at least have the honor to face death and to die." And he did kill himself. Do I think this actually happened? Yes. Do I think that it's happened in many other circumstances with different cultures, different warriors? Yes. And not only were his children and wife aggrieved, not only did his wife become a slave, basically, to another warrior in the same army, not even the opposing army, further dishonor was heaped upon him. Even people that were, close to him in his own army were like, "Oh, look at that fool! He killed himself because he couldn't, do what he said he was going to do. Look how ridiculous he looks. Does he even deserve a good burial? Somebody who goes and kills themselves because they didn't accomplish what they wanted to accomplish, or because he was so foolish to kill all those pigs when he was drunk, thinking that they're Trojans." And then he killed himself out of shame. What a stupid and utter foolish person that is. Now, these people that are jeering at his dead body, he can never have a chance to rebuke them. Even with our reincarnation, him as Ajax, that soul that was Ajax, he's never going to have an opportunity to defend himself from comments like that, or to gain more honor, or to go beyond the feats that he did. As long as you're alive, there's always a chance. Even if you think of honor like this, there's always a chance to gain more honor. But when you're dead, not only are those that that your children, family, friends gonna suffer, but you'll never have a chance to make yourself anything more than you are. You ended your life. You made that the period of your life, the end of the sentence. And then you can't do anything else as that person. And I believe in reincarnation. I believe that the soul is behind an ego, a personage, and that you have a purpose of having that soul, tuning with it. You have a mission. And getting to know yourself and acting correctly is a big part of that mission. Trying to figure out what you're supposed to do based on where you are and who you are, and trying to connect with your soul so that it can guide you to the right decisions. Ajax was not guided to the right decisions. So, what I decided was that if I do kill myself, then I'm never going to have a chance to be any more than I am now. No matter how petty I see myself or how dishonorable I think that I am, even though I haven't done anything anybody would consider bad, as much as, my expectations of myself, which they could be too high or not high enough, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is that I would never have a chance to be any closer to my goal by committing suicide because I'm not close enough right now. And this message might not speak to a lot of people. I hope that it speaks to some people, but because it's very strange for most people nowadays to even conceive of this, and strange for myself as well, I suppose. But while we're alive, we always have another chance. We can always do more, be more. But if we kill ourselves, that chance is gone, and that chance cannot be returned for that life. So ask yourself, use your first name. What can I make Hunter? Ask yourself, what can you make your name? Because really, it's the intelligence and the consciousness of the soul that animates us. So no matter if I feel sad or happy or depressed, even all the time, there needs to be that understanding that ultimately it's irrelevant. Who are you going to make yourself? Who are you going to be? That is your task. That is my task. We'll be happy sometimes, sad sometimes. Hell, I'm lonely in a very particular way a lot of the time, in a way that nobody's quite like me. I guess you can chalk that up to ego. It doesn't matter, but that's the way I feel. And I have depression, major depressive disorder from schizophrenia. I have this, that. Yes, life is going to be hard, just emotionally. So we need to form ourselves a mission, a tactic of living, and make the most out of what we have left. Even if we don't have any happiness to spend, any contentment to spend, and we only have sadness to accompany us, we can always be more as long as we're alive. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped. I hope this wasn't too much for people that know me. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and hope all of you have a wonderful day.